Alrighty guys, in this quick short video, I want to talk about the feature Inspire and making a squad based on players having a one-touch pass. And on a live stream, you guys know on the stream, I've been doing well with it. Now, this isn't a typical squad builder where I'm using Mbappe, Aubameyang, and Cristiano, and I do have them all. I can use them. Just wanted to try something different, and it's been working great. However, I actually use Club 3CF as a main. But for the purpose of making this video about 4213, I've never made a video about it, I want to talk about that. And if you don't understand Inspire, really, it's very simple. When you come here on the team sheet, just press help, Inspire, boom, is right here. I think, do I need to explain more? I mean, it's pretty much tell you exactly what players do. The confusion is, what if a player has Inspire low pass and lofted pass? How does your team act? Do they make a run for a short pass and then make a run for a lofted pass? I don't fucking know. But in my opinion, if your midfielder has 2-star lofted pass and low pass, pay attention. I have tried that against the computer, to test it out. How do your players react if you have a player with Inspire 2-star for both of them? And I saw my midfield coming short while my wingers making runs for the lofted pass. So it just depends on the player that you're using most of the time. And dribble through, this is like more of a Messi signature thing, just like Maradona, full speed dribbling. When you have a player like Messi getting on that full speed dribbling, your teammate will create spaces for you, and more like a dummy runner. But at the same time, in the game says teammate will react as if the player is dribbling towards the goal. So it's kind of a slightly same thing that I said, because I don't completely understand what do they do. I do know, like, when I see what the player do, I know what they're doing, but the way like PES production team like describes things is a little bit weird for me. I have to see it myself. So when I see it myself with dribble through, is your teammate creates give you space, like they're not gonna, actually most of the time they just jump in front of you, block you, by the way. This is something to do, this is different regarding myClub. You get some weird dynamic difficulties. But the main thing is about the squad is using a player that everybody has one-touch pass. Now, on my Road to Glory account, I use Ajax Manager, but I start advanced instructions, I use Gegenpress and attack and fullback, just like Ajax. At the moment, I don't really use anything. I just use counter-target on Cruyff, because I don't want his stamina to run out, and I want him to stay up. And obviously, the Inspire, like I have Sergio Busquets with 2-star lofted pass and lofted pass. I have Di Maria, everything 2-star. Messi, everything 2-star. And one of my viewers, Fabian, said something that makes sense. This year, player style card, like box-to-box, anchor, destroyer, they kind of messed up a little bit, really. Like, whole players used to be only like AMF. Now whole players can play the majority of different cards. Like right here it tells you goal poacher can play CFSS. They changed Fox in the Box, target man stays the same. Creative playmaker recently added with a new name. But what I don't like is the whole player. Like now whole player can play SS, AMF, RMF, LMF, CMF. Box to box is active as a DMF as well. The only thing stays similar is the fact that Anchorman is only active as a DMF. And Destroyer can be CB as well. So what I'm trying to say, just quoting Fabian pointed something out. When you make a squad builder, yeah, you can go with the typical, if you're using 4-3-3, an anchor man, a box-to-box, a whole player. Your AMF is really important to be whole player. Yes, I am using classic number 10 because, I don't know, they link up very well with Cruyff. That's all I can tell you. Like, let's say you have a bad DMF who's anchor man, but you have someone like Kante who's a destroyer. Use him as a DMF. But if you're using somebody short, make sure you have somebody tall as well. Because most of the time, ground passes option is not there. A simple circle pass can work greatly. And if you want to make a squad builder based on players having one-touch pass, the best way to figure out your players, you come here, squad members, hit R3, and I simply just do this. I mean, it could be anything. You want to look for a player who can do Neymar's skill rule. If you want to figure out if a player who can do Neymar ball rule is any player who has double touch, flip flap, and cut behind. No, step on skill control. So any player who has those three skills can do the Neymar ball rule. But if you want to make a squad builder based on every player having a one-touch pass, then I simply just search for it like this. One-touch pass, boom. I have 39 players who has the one-touch pass. And I just take notes, old school on a paper, or I'll take a screenshot of this basically. These are all the players that I have who has one-touch pass. Now, obviously, I don't have a goalkeeper with one-touch pass, and I don't have center-backs with one-touch pass. But I pick my goalkeeper based on having a goalkeeper with a reasonably good ball control and passing. I think Ederson is perfect for that one. My current goalkeepers, none of them are that great. For my center-back, I don't have any center-back with one-touch pass. So I pick center-backs who has reasonably good ball control and tight position, plus decent low pass. Because tight position and ball control, when those two things are high, this is good for slow dribbling. Speed and dribbling, that's for full speed dribbling. But ball control and tight position is good. Trusting a player on the ball, basically spreading the ball. And that is pretty much about the inspire and one-touch pass and making a squad based on particular player styles. In the meantime, regarding this formation, in my opinion, I have been using Ten Hag's second tactic, which is exactly as the first one, but it's conservative. It could be placebo. You guys on Twitch, comment down below. You guys on YouTube, tell me. I feel like when I'm using conservative, my defensive shape a little bit better. I know some people talk about using offside trap on. That makes your defensive shape better. In my opinion, it's all about whether you're leading or losing. When you're leading, dude, everything goes your way. Your team is in a defense is in a perfect shape. Your players are making elusive runs. You have wide, center, vertical, horizontal options. And most of the time, when you're not leading, your opponent makes a through ball, defense opens up, your passing goes wide, your finishing goes wide. It's very hard to get a pass on target. That's where you get to practice on manual passing. Your striker's not elusive. You notice your opponent's center backs or defenders cutting passing lanes automatically. And again, there's a difference between your opponent pressing square and using the AI to defend. There's a difference between that and the AI literally making your players block passing lanes perfectly. There's a difference. I think I went sidetrack with a lot of things. 4-2-1-3 is one of my favorite formations, really. I usually use if I'm leading by 2 goals, I switch to the second tactic with Ten Hag. I go double DMF. They will act like a double pivot. It's going to be hard for my opponent to counter me, and I can counter him better because I have double DMF. But in general, I start with a DMF, CMF, AMF. Ideally, a destroyer or anchorman, box-to-box whole player. Or if you're going to go super offensive, you can go orchestrator, box-to-box, and a whole player. I don't really go 3CB or defense on fullback. So far, so good. But the whole idea of this using every player who has one-touch pass, and most of you guys on YouTube, you can watch team number 50 and 51. You will see we have been very consistent with it. And that's pretty much about it.